Welcome back to JD'z Garage. I'm Joe. Continuing work on this Suzuki frame. You can see here we've got everything connected here rear suspension wise. In the back with these extensions we put on because the swing arm's wide. Got the right hardware here to get this secure. Got my new bushings in here. Alright, now I'm working on some cosmetics slash final supports, okay? I've already got these pipes here to give it a really cool look. It kind of is wide as a swing arm and then slowly steps down. It gives us more support but gives it a really good look too. So I've got a plate down in here on the bottom side I've added, okay? I've got to finish welding these in. I'm going to put a plate somewhere right in here, and then this is going to be supports on that backing to help with the the pull with the motor and the sprockets. Everything's going to be on this side, okay? So I'm going to get these welded to that plate and then to there. This plate here I'm going to weld fully underneath, leave it a little wide there, so I'll have good material to get this bracket on. Alright, and I'm going to throw one more up here. Okay, once I get all this, we're in pretty good shape. To fully weld this, I may take these shocks back off and this swing arm so I don't get any weld splatter on my new hardware and everything. It's all good. And once we get these supports, we're in a really good spot. Close to being done welding. I am making a piece here to go on the back of the bike, similar to this. Okay, we'll have to get that on, and after that we'll be working on getting the motor in here, the back wheel, and we'll get the height on the motor. I do have a motor plate to mount it. Where it's going to be forward and back, up and down, we'll figure that out once I get the back tire mounted. Its sprocket, its brake disc, and all that. So let me get set up here, get these final plates tacked on. Alright guys, got this piece tacked on up here. Got these brackets on this plate that I also tacked in. Same thing over here. Alright, got this side fully welded in all the way around the bottom on each of these pipes, okay? And these joints here, this stuff was thin, it wasn't the easiest, but it's about the way it goes. This is our support we added on right here to the back here, right under where the hardware for the control arm, swing arm goes through. We got it welded here and here. So right now, this pipe is open on the end and it has a hole where the bolt used to be. This was just scrapped. So I've got a piece of this here. I'm going to cut two of them to knock inside here, and then we'll just weld it through the hole right here to tack it in place, and the same under here. Get that sealed up. So I'm going to work on that next, getting these two pieces cut with the chop saw. We'll get it in here and tacked, and then I've got to start welding up this whole other side here. So bear with me. Two pieces here I'm going to clean up, and we'll get them hammered in here where they go. Alright. Got these pieces hammered in, so I'm going to tack here in the hole. That'll burn up real quick, but we'll start back here to hold them in place. Get both of these welded in. We've got our ends closed, and it's going to take care of that hole on the top and the bottom at the same time. Alright, I got a little tack there. Hold these guys in place. Still need to clean them up a little bit, but I could go around, but there's no need to with it welded here and here. These are just plugs. So I'm going to get this thing turned back around and Alright, so I finally got these bottom pieces fully welded in. Looks pretty cool to me. The motor's going to cover a lot of this. You'll probably see this back part, but the motor's going to come out at least to here. But almost looks like we put mini wings on the bottom of it. So yeah, this is all welded in all the way around to the frame. That's the plate with these two support pieces welded to it. It's welded on the bottom. We got this piece across up here. We have a plate down there. We have one back here in the back. I also have a rod under here going through holding the frame, so we shouldn't have any movement out of this. I'm probably gonna have to sandblast this dude. I've got so many welds and so many small nooks and crannies like back in here. Try to get this thing, you know, we'll have to sand too with the die grinder, but it'll all come together. So next thing I'm going to do is work on a rack to put on the back like this here. So I'm going to work on fitting that together and getting it welded up, and then we'll figure out how to attach it back here. I'm expecting the rear fender to come in. I kind of want it first before we attach it, but we can still go ahead and make this guy. So this is where we stand. I think it looks pretty good. Really good, really awesome. Alright, so we got the bike frame here. I'm wanting to make a small rack to go on the back. I have this piece of material that's already bent the way it is. I'm going to attempt to bend it back, get this piece here on here, okay, and somehow it's going to go back here, right there, okay. The issue is I'm not sure where yet or how to attach it until the rear fender gets here, because the seat here, which we're about to rip all this cruddy stuff off it, I just want the base. I'm going to rebuild the seat on it, but when we get the seat here, you can see it's kind of hollow up under there. The seat curves up because the fender is going to fit right, get the seat back out of the way, right up here. It's going to come up, curve up here. This is probably going to be around its highest point, and then it's going to start curving back down for the tire back here. So we've got to figure out how to get that attached. The fender has shipped. I'm not sure when it's going to be here, but today we're just going to tear this old stuff off the seat, get its base on here, and I'm going to work on rebending this and getting it how I like, and then we'll see how we're going to attach it to the bike once the fender gets here. So I'm going to set up, start working on this thing. Will it work? I don't know, but it's worth a shot. I have this material. I had a lot of used material when I started this project. Is how I've been able to, you know, make these pipes and get this thing looking pretty cool, sturdied up, and I'm really happy with this. I mean, it looks really good. So get a little bit of a walk around, better light today. I mean, it's just pretty awesome. So get set up, and we'll start messing around with this seat and try to bend that rack the way we want it. Okay, this thing has some kind of staples in here around the inside that hold this cover on. Right now I'm just gonna cut here, get this cover off so we can lift the foam off, okay, and I'll worry about getting the rest of this off when I go to rebuild this seat. So hopefully we can just get it here. Alright, like this. Oh my old band-aid right here. The grinder got a hold of my thumb real good yesterday. Kind of stuff happens no matter how much you use them. Let's see. Cut you there. Getting a little bit here. Coming out with this one. go. Getting somewhere. Just cut this dude back here. Trash off. There's that. Most of it anyway. This little handle here is actually attached to these two pieces down here. That's pretty cool. So all of this material will come out, what's left around here. This handle is still pretty tough and in good shape. We might just clean it up and keep it on there. So let's see if we can get this foam off without tearing it up, because I'm going to need it to help cut my new piece. Oh, it just came right off. I guess it was glued on. So, but there's still enough foam left here. See this curvature back here? Well, this side's wore off. But we're going to have to make something sort of like that. I may even go a little thicker and get it on here and recover this seat. That'll be coming in the future. So now that I've got my base back on here, the bike here, my floor is at a little bit of a slant. And get you on here, maybe, kind of, sort of, both on the inside. So this is how the seat fits, okay? And this handle will pull it straight back off. It's kind of what we got going on here, but with this on, and I know about how the fender's going to go, I can, this piece here we're going to use, if you see, this one looks kind of straight on this curve. This one's bent out, so I cut this piece that was already here, and we're going to have to find a way to bend this guy in so it's straight. And it's going to be about right. I can use other pieces of flats or angle to get this attached and welded where we need to. We may even have to make something special to go about in this area and come out a little and then get it connected, but I know it's going to have to be about level with the seat here, and that's kind of the way we're going to want it anyway. Throw a little lunchbox cooler back here, or get a Pelican box and, you know, keep a little toolkit and stuff in it when you're out on the trails. So I'm going to now grind this off, and especially this one because it's right on this bend, and I want this to be able to bend nicely and not destroy my piece. If it does destroy this, we're going to make something from scratch. But I'm just hoping to reuse this. I try to reuse everything. Brand new gloves. See where I hit it with the grinding disc yesterday? A lot better this glove though than my finger. It got it just a hair through there. Alright, I'm set up now. I'm going to start grinding these off. There we have it. It can still be cleaned up some. That was the other spot. Now I'm going to try to figure out if I can get this thing bent in to where it looks, you know, uniform. And of course this one will be longer right here, so once we get it where we want, we'll get them cut straight. Then we can tack this back where it goes, and then add our next piece tacked on, and then we'll have a rack ready, cargo rack ready for the bike, and we'll look at what it's going to take to get it on the bike. Okay, don't have a pipe bender, you can make do. Okay, I got a vise here, I've got this piece in, and since we want to bend this way, you cut a beak out of it, like you see right there, okay, right here, to the way it's going to bend, and it makes it so much easier. And it's all you got to do. Now we might have to play with it a little bit side to side to get it perfect, but yeah, in this case I just took a manual hacksaw and cut that beak out. You can use a recip with a metal blade, you know, whatever you need to do. And if you got a welder and you got a grinder, you can fix anything like this. But let's try to get our bend. I'm just going to take my big screwdriver that fits down in here, okay, and we'll pull it, see it coming in. It couldn't do that if you didn't take that material out of it, okay? And even if you still have a little bit of a gap left when we get this guy level, you just fill it in with weld and grind it down. Nobody will ever know it was there. So we're getting closer. Let me go a little more here, see where we're at, okay? That one's level on the money. This one, I needed to grind off a little more material right there. It's affecting my, see if I can put it where you guys can see it here. We're watching this bubble right there, okay? And it's pretty close to where it needs to be. I'm going to stand back and eyeball this guy. What do you guys think? That's looking pretty level right there, okay? Now we'll still be able to move it a little until I weld this in and get that tacked back where it goes. But I think we're in a good spot now that I can, let me grab this piece right here. I can measure where I'm going to want this piece, okay, and get these cut. They're appropriate, this piece, this one, and then we'll get a straight cut across here. And then we'll have a cargo rack ready to go on the bike. We'll just have to figure out at that point how to get it on there. So I want to find the middle in between this piece and the back of the rack, okay? So I measured here, and we have roughly 3 7/8 to the inside of this piece from here. So we would find the middle of that. Let me count my notches here. Okay, so we're going to do 1 15/16, which is 1 notch above 7/8, 1/16 before 2 inches, and then we know where our center is. Okay, now this doesn't have to be perfect, but I want a center mark right in here, okay, and I'll double check that before I mark the sides, so I'll be able to see the center mark when we flip this over. We'll get that lined up on the center and flip this over, and we'll tack on the bottom here and here, okay, and that's how we'll get that where it needs to be. There's our beak there. We'll put some weld in and then cut these off flush. Got this thing kind of welded tack. I'll clean all this up later before do anything else with it. But so this one's back in its spot. I've got to tack the other piece on right here, okay, centered up, and then I've got to cut this and fill that slit we made to bend it. I think I'll start with that before I put a piece in the way across here. Go ahead and get this guy clamped. Alright guys, here we have it. Got these two pieces tacked on. Remember, this was our center. Tacked under here and here. Okay. Got this spot filled here where we had the split to bend the pipe. And this is about how it's going to look. Still warm on me. Let me get it from the other side. So it's going to be sort of like that. Okay, we'll figure out a way to attach it, but I'm pretty happy with this. I got a little more welding and touching up to do on it, but it's going to make this bike even better, having that little cargo rack on the back, because the fender and tire will be out about that far too, so it'll all look good together. So anyhow guys, I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that thumbs up button. It won't cost you anything, and it helps me out a lot. And I appreciate it. Until next time.